Let's have all.
Good. All right. This is a technology podcast hosted by your favorite developers, Marvin, Jamal, and Paul. We're joined by one of the hottest UI UX developers out there right now. Like, I'm truly a fan. Yourself. I know you weren't expecting that.
Hi guys.
Welcome.
Yeah, my name's Tessie. I am a UX UI designer and I design other stuff as well. I'm also a front-end developer. Well, I'm still learning, but you know, we're always learning. You never really stop learning. So, yeah.
That's true. So yeah, where did we start? Marvin, do you want to kick off?
Where do I want to kick off? I was recently looking through your stuff because work has got me on ropes this past few weeks. But I also do web development. So I've been, Paul put me onto your stuff not too long ago. I started looking through and started seeing that you're doing a ton. What are your muses like? How do you think and somehow get it to something that's actually functional in a very short amount of time? Because I saw the, 100 days of UI UX design. Stack.
I hope we're not taking
I'm like,
your time, because I know you're doing it every single day.
When we're done,
No, actually, I already started. Yeah, I didn't have to go back when I'm done. But I've mostly finished for today's one, so don't worry. I won't be pressed for time. But how do I get my ideas? Honestly, I'm confused myself. I don't know myself. A lot of the times it's like the first design idea I got is because I baked a cake and I thought, what about an app where you could customize your cake? Other times it's like if I'm watching TV, I watch Desperate Housewives, so it's a lot of fashion there. That's why I kind of got my London Fashion Week design idea. But that also came from thinking about coronavirus, because people can't go outside, so you can't attend a fashion show. So how can people still enjoy the experience? So there's I don't know, it's a lot of things. Like even like before I go to bed, sometimes I'll just get a pop like an idea in my head, like, oh, what about this? Yeah, it's at times it's like really random. Like I amaze myself sometimes, to be honest. It's like, how do I come up with these things? It's insane, yeah.
Well, you've got your own website displaying your portfolio. But some that I've picked out here are the Afro Nation mobile app.
Yeah, I saw that.
The No Signal 10 versus 10 mobile app, Formula One website, Fashion Week, which you just spoke about. And the artwork where you can scan pictures in the gallery. Just out of that list, and correct me if I was wrong in listing them, just out of that list, what has been your favorite to work on?
Oh, the Fashion Week one, 100%. Fashion Week one, yeah. I actually wanted to, because there's the software I use, I'm still learning it, so I couldn't do as much as I wanted to do, but I just had to like settle for what I made. But I think that one is my favorite, yeah, because it's so, I think it's really unique. Like the museum one, I think also is, I don't know now. I think there's a tie between those two, the museum and the Fashion Week one, I'd say. Yeah.
Wow, from one front end developer to another, who are the people that you look to that inspire you, that make front end, or like what websites or what have you seen that inspired you? Because I've been here for a very short amount of time, but I know I can learn from you, because when I look at your stuff, it looks ridiculous. I'm wondering, what do you go to pick out, where'd you get it from?
Instagram, so I follow a lot of like UX UI accounts, so I just go through my explore page and kind of see like different layouts and stuff like that.
I mentioned
also
as well.
Say that again, sorry?
You mind mentioning the accounts for anyone that's listening?
Oh, I don't know the account names, but because it's like loads of different ones, yeah. But if you search UX UI in Instagram, you'll find loads, like there's loads and loads and loads of pages with like inspiration and stuff. Another place I get inspo from is awards.com. So it's awwwards.com. Like that website blows my mind. It's like development and design. So it's basically what I want to do, which is both of them. And like the designs and like the interactions on there is insane. Like people can really design. Like when you go on that website, you see people are talented. But I think the awards.com website is where I get a majority of my inspiration, just because it's like where I'm aspiring, like that's the level I'm aspiring to be to. So yeah, and other designers as well, like on Twitter, I know there's loads of UX UI designers doing the challenge as well. So their work also inspires me of like what I could do next.
How did you get involved? How did you get started?
With UX UI, oh. So it all basically, I studied architecture at uni, so it's like a jump to another field. But it's still that
it kind of ties in because you're still designing, like the mind is still.
Yeah, it's still creative. Yeah, I'm still designing, but just a different purpose that I'm designing for.
Wow.
The first kind of design I did was a logo for my friend. She does nails, so I did her logo, and like I really enjoyed doing it. It took me days to do it because it was like an not animated, but a cartoon logo kind of thing.
Oh, did you?
But Illustrator, yeah. Yeah, that's when I first started using Illustrator, and I really enjoyed it. Then I looked into like what else I could do, and then from there, doing a bit of research, I got into UX UI, and then I saw a tweet. The way I designed the Afro Nation app is because I saw a tweet by some girl saying, "Oh, she wishes there was an Afro Nation app." I was like, you know what? This is God telling me to do this. And I gave it my best shot. At that time, I didn't really know too much about UX UI, but I just thought I might as well try. And yeah.
I think that's one of my favorites, like just the way that you've managed to just capture the colorway that Afro Nation used and actually just bring that to life by the app. It gassed me when I was looking at it.
Thank you.
Capitalize. Even on the no signal, I was like, oh, there you go again.
Yeah, I really enjoyed making that one. Yeah.
There wasn't, because I went as well. There wasn't any app, so the source of information wasn't really
Wasn't there? I thought there was an app.
Well, I don't.
Oh, I thought there was an app. Oh, well, they should have, come to me.
Maybe there is. Maybe there was one, but
they liked my post as well, so they know I'm out here.
Don't worry, they're coming to you, I'm sure. They'll be like, okay, we need someone like this. We need them on the team.
Next year, just watch out.
If we have next year. Paul, what's going on here?
Bro, it's going.
You've got a privacy filter.
In a howler, mate.
You can't see it on my screen, but yeah, they do.
Have you got the app?
Yeah, they do have an app. Can you see it?
Oh, they got an app. Oh, my bad. I take that back.
But like, bro, the thing is, what I'm saying is, what I'm screaming is, look at the colorway there, and compare it to what we've seen.
No,
nah, come on.
Yo,
come on, nah, they should bully.
You know what? Because as you're saying that, the thing that I found the most interesting was the Zara website redesign that you did.
Oh,
like, I quickly
the one yesterday.
Yeah, and I looked at it and I was like, whoa, I've seen functionality, I've seen something simple like done before in various websites, but this is something that is simple, but it works and it's clean. Yeah, I mean, because you have the browsing area and then you actually have the full on, this is what I'm currently looking at. How can I compare it? And I started like piecing together like use cases for it. And I was like, this makes sense in the case of, I guess, if you're going to be looking at something that you know you're going to buy, but then what am I actually going to buy with it later on? These companies come to you if they start copying this idea, and you need to come out patent this. Because I've just clocked that this is a way for them to make more money.
It's true, because you don't have to like switch between going back to look at another product. It's just right there at the same time. It just makes sense to me. It just makes sense, yeah. Because their website is trash. Their website is trash. I'm not even gonna cap.
You say then your architecture background is something that you utilize today just to be so creatively innovative?
Yeah, I think it's really helped me, because when I said architecture, it was, well, not brutal, but it's a lot, because you have to think of designs, not in a short amount of space as I've done with the 100-day design challenge, but it's still that, think of a design. Is it practical? Can you build it? Like, can you realistically build it? How will it work? How will people like move around with it? All of that. So I think I've kind of just taken that, but moved it onto apps and websites. So yeah, I think that's why I don't regret studying architecture, because it's really helped me get where I am now. Like, I think having a different background experience has been beneficial for me. Yeah, than like the typical route people take.
Yeah, like I genuinely believe that there is something for everybody in tech, and just for you using that background, my next question is, how did you learn? What sort of materials or what sort of websites did you use just to get this sick at front end dev and UX UI?
The University of YouTube, first of all. That's like what the biggest thing I go to. Honestly, even at uni, a lot of the softwares I learned, YouTube. Like my tutors didn't teach me. They teach me a bit, but then I'd go on YouTube and like learn it to a much greater extent. So YouTube is like number one for me. Other places for coding, I used Free Code Camp. I think quite a lot of people probably already know about that. What else did I use for coding? Free Code Camp. I also did training for 4 months with Sky, so that is like boosted me up quite a lot.
Tell us about that.
Excuse me. Oh, so how did that go? I started in January, finished in April. Like the whole experience was like so amazing. I learned so much. Obviously, because of coronavirus, we had to take it online, so we couldn't like go in to get that face-to-face interaction. So it was really difficult in that sense. And like doing group work as well, we had to use like Zoom and everything. So it was quite difficult and intense. Like I'd wake up, code, go to bed, wake up, code. Like I spent all day coding. Like after it, I took like a week off just doing anything code related because it was so intense. But it was really good. I would recommend it for anyone who wants to get into tech. And it's specifically, first of all, it's specifically for women. And you don't have to have any level of like any tech knowledge or anything. Like you can come from the creative side or like banking, whatever. It's open to all age groups as well. And I think the program starts, you can apply in September, October. But go on their website. All the information will be on their website for anyone interested. Yeah, it was an amazing program. Amazing.
When we're done with this, below, that'll be very, very useful to have below in the video description.
So before this sort of career switch, how did the people around you, sort of, your support system and whatnot, how did they take the whole, I don't want to go into the architecture no more, I want to do this tech thing? Were they supportive?
You want to do what?
I think that's a good question. I think someone that was really supportive was my uncle, he's in tech himself. And he's basically, because my sister, my older sister, she studied biomedical science at uni, but then she switched to tech. So she's a business analyst, something like business intelligence developer, something along those lines, but it's still tech related.
Yeah.
And he helped her get into it. So it was kind of not a shock to anyone, because my sister's already like been through that process.
Yeah.
But he really helped me. Like he told me different courses I could do, different routes I can take. When because I applied to other programs for training, and he basically gave me help on like how to go about an interview. I think my family has been quite supportive, to be honest. They like, I think
they've been supportive.
Yeah. I think they're amazed as well. Yeah, they've seen my work. My friends have been amazing. Yeah, I think everyone's just been really supportive because they can see I'm really passionate about it. I think with architecture, even though I enjoyed it, it wasn't for me. Whereas with this, it's like, I know what I want to do now. I'm set.
Were you like more of an artistic person when you were young? Like when you were growing up, was it clear that you were an artist?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to know.
Yeah, from young I've been extremely artistic. Like the GCSE art, but then obviously my parents wouldn't let me do it A-level. So A-level I did like maths, biology, chemistry, all them hard topics. But in my heart I knew my creative side is what I wanted to do. It was screaming.
All the artwork in the house is designed and made by you,
No.
Quite the same.
I actually did have some, but my sister took it, so it's in her house. But I just not got any in this house. My house.
Did you ever? This may be a weird question, but are you still surprised that, or did you ever expect, or you surprised at the reaction that you get? Media or just in
the public one. I went like I hated it. I still didn't like it. I did not like it at all. But I think I just Oh, do I sound really weird?
That's
No.
fine.
Okay, because my mic can have its moments sometimes. I just really did not like it, but I think I just drew it in my head. I'm not going to love every single design I make. It doesn't mean I shouldn't post it. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, it's like when people were liking it, commenting, I was like, what are you guys seeing that I'm not seeing? Somebody please show me, open my eyes. But yeah, I'm surprised by all the love I'm getting. It like it's insane to say the least. Like the past 2 weeks have been insane for me. Like the messages I've got in, I've spoken to some people on the phone.
That's troubling. Like it's part of the creative process. That's just stress because you make something, then you look at it, and immediately you're like, I don't like. There's logos that I've made before that I've looked at, and I'm like, I can do better. That is on my name. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Then you go back, you have to rework on it, or you just do something completely different. But nah, it's really crazy. One thing I actually do admire about your work. I was having a discussion with my boss today, and he's one of those people that say, he called me someone that colors in. That's it. Because I like doing the front end and everything, but they're one of those like core software development. His mind just works. But he was telling me about some core design principles, and that you shouldn't use a lot of color. It should get straight to the point, and you should use black, white, and then a hint of color. Because really, the look of it doesn't seem ridiculous. And then I looked at your apps after I've had a discussion with him, and I was like, this goes
bright orange.
And it's no, but the thing is, you use bright orange, but it's not too much. That's the thing. I've seen gold, and it's not too much. The Cape Cap, it's colorful. It's colorful.
Yeah, it was a lot for me as well.
But every single other app, it's like you've mastered that. Where did you get that learning where you're just like, I don't need to do too much? Like everything is perfectly in its place.
I don't know. Honestly, I couldn't tell you. I think a lot of it just comes to me naturally. Like I thank God every day because I think it just comes to me naturally. A lot of it. You're looking stressed.
Some of us have to work. I'm not as good. I'm actually amazed.
Yes, I think the creative side of me kind of.
Well said, Joel. You're not even moving. All right. Try now.
Ask a question. Ask again.
Yeah. So what's like your long-term goal with it?
Oh, that's a good question. Very good question.
Like you trying to create like an academy, your own business.
In terms of those type of stuff. Well, because I have like my own little business doing web design, logos and stuff like that. But in the future, my goal is to expand it to like a much bigger scale, where like the focus will be. Because for me, I didn't really know anything about tech until like last year. Even in school, like I didn't really know much. I feel like it's not really introduced to like girls, especially Black girls. So I want to kind of have a program where we can do that for younger kids. So from early, they know I can do this. Like this is something I can get into if I want to do. Like obviously not forcing it on them, but just it's that exposure to kids. Yeah. And with that also, I want to take it back home to Nigeria and bring that exposure there because
we love that.
The opportunities Black girls have back home is like we can't even complain here because back there it's on a different level. Yeah. So I would so the priority would be back home and then doing that in the UK as well. But then back home would be with boys as well, not just girls, because I think just bringing opportunity to both sexes in Nigeria is, especially young kids that are disadvantaged, would change their lives. I think for me, it's like, if I can change one person's life or one person can say, because of me, they did this, it doesn't even have to necessarily be they got into tech or start coding. Just what they've seen me do, or my passion for it, got them, inspired them and made them passionate for what they're doing. And now they're doing their thing. And do you know what I mean? Yeah. So that would be, that's my long-term goal. I just feel I was waffling a lot.
That's fine.
I just thought of something.
Yeah.
That could happen for anyone that's in UI UX. This is like for anyone that's listening, even for you yourself, a UI UX museum.
Oof. That would be sick.
Oh my God, no, that would be so sick. Because oh no, I've got ideas already. Look what
I'm
you
just
started.
alley-oop that to you.
Where's my
Just slam
millennium?
dunk.
Oh my God.
Like, that would be so dope, man. That would be
No,
so
that would
sick.
be so sick. Like I'm thinking holographs. Oh no, my
Mm.
mind is tiny. Because it can be really techy as well. Because obviously,
Cut
virtual
this
and
out
everything.
of the entire thing. This needs to
Really, I
happen.
mean,
And
before someone
nobody needs to know
steals
it's about to happen.
it.
Before
Hey,
someone comes
Marvin,
and steals this
you forgot
idea.
what, Marvin, you forgot what luck
Trust.
You forgot what I guess I said here before. Is about the execution, how they deliver it. So
Hey.
someone might copy, someone might
That's
see how,
true.
you know, it's all about how you do it. So that they can do it.
That's cool. Thank you for reminding me. Boy, you made me look like that's a raven. I just
Yeah.
idea still like that's an idea. Like,
Yeah.
Funny enough, thanks to
Well,
Disney, this is
wow.
a little segue, but thanks to Disney, I've just been, my sister's got the Disney Plus in it, so I've just been recapping some.
Oh yeah.
Mm. But yeah, that is real powerful motivation. Like, that's that type of motivation that will get you out of bed in the morning.
Yeah.
That is that's something. That leads me on to my next question. Funny enough, just in saying that, you know, just over the past year, you've been exposed to so much tech. Just prior to then and just now, and in terms of your expectation, did you really think that there were a lot of, you know, Black developers or UI UX designers out there? It was nothing, right? That's the
Yeah.
same with me. Like
Yeah.
the web community and everything. Like, I'm amazed daily at just how many people are out there, how many people are working to just get out there.
Yeah. So yeah, the number of Black people in tech is just abysmal. It's crazy, especially like Black women as well. Yeah. Even on the program I was doing, there was just 2 of us, 2 Black women, and then the rest.
I bet you guys became friends immediately.
Yeah, we didn't really speak much though, because obviously it went online pretty early, so which is a shame, but yeah, we did get along. She was older as well. She had kids and everything, but yeah, she was really nice. Yeah, most of the women, I was the youngest there. Most of these women, they have like kids, married. Some of them were like 25. But I was the youngest there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Funny. When did you graduate uni?
Last year.
Oh, so
I'm 22. You trying to cut some math.
Love it.
I'm an old man.
Well, how old are you?
I'm turning 25 this year.
Oh, that's fine. You're not old. I'm 23 this year.
mad.
Wait till you get to 24 and then think about how quick it is. Pardon?
The 5 years close to 30, man. I'm getting scared for you, man. Damn.
I should lock
That's
up.
true. When you put it that way, yeah, you're kind of aging still.
Both of you are cancelled. I'm tired. I'm finished. I can cuss myself. You can't cuss me. Wow. No, but it's true. It's true. But wow, no, you're getting a good head start. We're gonna have to segue away from that and then you might learn. No, you're getting a good head start to it because as you were looking at, like, I don't know where the world is going in terms of web design and mobile design and whatnot, because I've spoken to people that like web design is now going, it's pretty much gone. We're getting AI that is now capable of completely making website. And now we also, I think at some point it may be a bit, that's just a speculation on my behalf, because if we're already doing this for websites, it's possible to go to that point. But how do you see, like as Jamal said, like how do you see yourself within it career-wise? Like how do you think it's gonna go, or how do you see the industry as it is right now?
Career-wise, I think for me it's still, initially I wanted to, yes, just a software developer, but still have my creative side, like business at the side. But now I'm moving more into UI developer because I feel like it's a mix of the both, like creative and the more technological side. But in terms of, I think there will still, I don't think AI will completely take over everything, because I think with designing, you need that human touch to be able to connect, because it'll be humans that are using what you're creating. So I think that human touch is vital, because without the user research, you can't design without user research really, or having that in mind of how will people interact with this. So
Yeah.
I think there's only so far an AI I think there's only so far they can design or build. I think they'll still need us. Yeah, we'll still have jobs.
Wow.
Thanks.
I want to get into just sort of the actual nitty-gritty stuff. Like, what do you actually use when designing? What kind of software or technologies do you use?
Right. So when I design,
We create a scenario. Let's create a scenario. Paul, you want a logo done. Oh, we want a logo done now. So what would you do? Take us through.
So I would ask you if you've got any ideas or sketches, and then you send that to me. I'd have a look at them. I'd sketch some of my own, send them to you, get some feedback. Probably do a few more sketches to develop those, get some feedback again. But at the same time, I think with designing logos, some business owners are so like particular on what they want, but then what they want doesn't suit their brand. So you kind of have to like nudge them, like, excuse me, like, let's move this way instead. Well, not everyone listens, but from the sketches go into Illustrator. Yeah, just do a few, what do you call it? A few, what's the word?
That's nice.
I think your mic is it just me or has...
Yeah, no, I might went a tiny bit quiet.
Yeah.
Oh, and now we can't hear you at all. Now you came and next it. No stress.
Like cool troubleshooting that you do. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay,
cool. So yeah, I go onto Illustrator and make different versions, that's the word, make different versions of the logo with colors, placement layouts, all of that, and then get feedback from the designer, the client, you guys, and then kind of work towards that one final copy. And then if they've got any issues, excuse me, if they've got any issues, I'll change whatever they want, or if I don't think it's needed or it will really go, I'll let them know, and then we can move from there. But yeah.
Wow. It's funny. It's like you have to incorporate like consultancy into your job, because I find it so interesting when you're like, you want to do this, that's not happening. You're gonna have to.
There's really a lot of that, because obviously not everyone has that creative side, so they might think, oh yeah, this works all together, these two colors work well together, but then you're looking at it like, no, it's no, we can't do that for the sake of your business. No. But yeah, you just have to find a nice and polite way to say it, like one that's not like, no, shit, I'm not doing that. Can I swear on here?
It's all right.
Sorry. But yeah, you just have to find a nice way to say it.
Yeah. Have you had any like disputes? Has there been like one customer that is just being wary and you just have to?
I've not had any outright disputes, but I've had a bit of, not conflict, but a conflict of interest, I guess, where the design he wanted, I didn't think it looked great or really went with his brand and what he wanted to go for. But he was like really adamant about it. So I just said, okay, I'm going to give you what you want, even though I don't believe it's what will help you grow and like it will be relevant in a few years' time. That's one thing. Your logo has to be relevant 10 years' time. It's not just for now. We're following a trend now. Yeah, so I designed it for him anyway. He liked it. I'm not. No one's seen it because I'm not posting it anyway. I'm not posting that on my portfolio. I don't like it. I don't want that to represent my work. But yeah, I think that's the one time. Everyone else has been really nice. They like take on my advice, so it's really good.
I've got another case.
Go on.
If someone that's listening now or watching now, and they want to start. Oh, okay. I guess
10 minutes.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna extend this. Let's say someone like yourself. Oh, I want to get into web designing. You know, I want to be a graphic designer. You know, and they want to start, you know, creating their page on Instagram. Like, how would you advise someone? You know, someone that wants to build their brand and get out there, get their work out there.
So, are they making a page like as a business to start doing this for other people or just to share their work?
Yeah, like a portfolio, like a portfolio, business as well.
Okay. If they're just getting into UX UI,
Pretty much
I
like,
wouldn't recommend.
Yeah.
Say that again, sorry?
pretty much like your page.
Yeah, but they're just starting out like to learn about.
Yeah, they're just starting out now. 0 followers, 0 ground zero.
Okay. Excuse me. Before even making a page, first learn, practice. First learn. First and foremost, learn. Go on YouTube, watch videos, watch someone else designing. Find some course. You can find loads of free courses online. I can't think of any off the top of my head because some I start, I don't finish. I won't lie.
Mm-hmm.
But there's loads of free courses online that you can do for UX UI because it's not just designing. There's a more technical side to like the psychological aspects and everything. So try and learn some of that. You can't learn all of it. Like just start with. You kind of have to learn, do, and then move on, like progress from that. So learn first. Try and do some designs. Yeah, even if it's like just one page, it doesn't have to be like a whole app design, just one singular page design or redesign. Do that and then create your page, post your work on there, put every single tag under the sun that you can think of, put it on that post. So daily UI, UX UI, design, app design, website design, anything you can think of. Tags really work. That will get people onto your page and seeing your work. And also sharing on your personal profile, sharing your work on there, getting your friends to share, post your page for people to follow. And I did that in the beginning, but as I kind of progressed, I stopped asking people to share my work because I don't know. For me, it was like, not that I needed it, but I posted my work for my own benefit. It's not for other people to come and compliment me or like it. It's more for me to just put my work out there. And if people share it, then I'm really grateful. I'll say thank you. But yeah, I just stopped asking people. But obviously when you start, you can't be doing that. When I started, I was telling all my friends, posting now every single post I posted, like I was sending to them, and obviously they would be willing to, or some of them would do it without me asking. So research, design, do that iterative process over and over again, and then post on your page.
All right. Just because I'm conscious of time and everything, do you have any questions for us?
Prepared some. Any questions?
If not, that's completely fine.
How did you guys get into tech actually? Because we know how I got into tech. How did you guys get into tech?
Oh, that's a long conversation. Who wants to start? Who wants to start?
Wait, I need clarification. How did we get into tech? As in, how did we end up being like, oh, we're gonna go to university for this kind of thing?
Oh, did you all go to university for this?
Yeah, we all went to uni.
Oh, so you're like original techies.
Like, I mean, you're an original techie too. You went to uni for us, so.
I don't mind. Call it that.
Yeah, even if like, how did you like when you were younger? How did you like first get into it or introduced to it? Or thought I want to do this as a career?
I've had a computer in my house since the day I was like. I can't remember a time where I didn't have a computer because of my dad and my uncle and all that. They went to computer shows or fairs and whatnot. Oh, wow. All that kind of shit. So, that's me. I didn't really have a choice. It just kind of chose me. Sorry to be that dickhead. I'm sorry.
Mine was it was an accident. It was the best accident that's ever happened to me. I think obviously early years, like you couldn't get me off a console, and now just looking back, like in retrospect, I should have identified in that time period that there's an actual interest here. Not that, you know, I should feel ashamed that all it is all we do is game. So in university, I initially applied and wanted to study chemical engineering. And boy, if I don't even want to go into that conversation of what would have happened if I remained on that course. So it's like by January, I wanted to switch. And I wanted to go into computer science because by that time I knew Jamal and Marvin, and you know they were the black faces that were in the engineering department that I was close to. that I'd spent every moment of the day in the library together. So I thought, yeah, why not do that? And they would, by the end of the year, they were just like, well, we didn't put a reference down under your name that you wanted to switch in January, and now there's no more spaces on the computer science course. And I was just like, what am I going to tell my parents? So what ended up happening was I had a meeting with the head of the computer science or engineering department. Spoke with him. He was just like, "Oh well, Paul, your math grades are not strong enough for computer science. We're not confident in you that you can do this." And I was just like, "You would have told that to my mom." But eventually, what ended up happening is that he recommended a course, computing with business. Because he had identified that my business skills were obviously strong. And I'm glad I went down that route, just simply because the tech that I kind of love, it's like, it's everything behind it, you know, but working with a client, and it's like they have these business specifications and needs, as well as obviously the functional and non-functional stuff as well. So yeah, that's my story. A very big accident.
Slip and
How about
slide.
you?
I said for me, it's similar to what you say?
Ignore me, sorry.
Oh,
Fair.
I say for me, it's similar to Marvin. Like ever since primary school days, come up from school, I'm on a computer, I'm troubleshooting. You know, that I was just living on a computer. That was it. And then over the years, was dabbling into other stuff, but I just knew that tech is where it's at for me. So that's how I got into tech, and then that's how I now go into different sides, the creative side as well. Because I initially got into computer science, and then I wanted to, because I do YouTube as well. So then, if I didn't do YouTube, because I wanted to break the middleman, so I had to learn video editing by myself. I don't want to pay no one to edit my videos. I don't want to pay no one to make my logo or anything. And that's how graphic design editing came in. But yeah, it all started from computer science, and then that's how everything just grew.
Just quickly, what languages can you guys code in?
All right, we'll run through. Me, it's mainly been JavaScript, but obviously I'm learning Swift as well.
Yeah.
By the way, this thing is less than a minute, so
yeah, it's fine. Quickly.
Okay. JavaScript, TypeScript, C++, SQL, a bit of PHP. We learned stuff like Ada, Haskell, but we don't really use them. C#, and that's what I can remember for the time being. I'm pretty sure there's more, but don't have time.
Aside from the internet computing, HTML, CSS, PHP, Java, yeah, all of that. What about you, Jamal?
JavaScript, React, Java, bit of PHP, SQL. Yeah, just pretty much your standard.
These technologies come out so thick and fast that you just, like, literally, just for me, I just picked a favorite and just went stuck with it.
Yeah.
With Android, this is why.
Or is it going on YouTube? Is it going on YouTube? Do you guys have a YouTube channel?
Yes, we do. Yeah.
Wait, this is going on YouTube.
It's up to you.
No, why didn't no one tell me? Look, I came in headscarf. What? I didn't even put.
Because we appreciate all forms.
You guys set me up for failure. Wow.
God forbid. Nah. No, that's not the case. That's not the case.
TV.
Hey, look, if you want to veto it,
quarantine. This
all of us
have no trim. Look at my hair, fam.
My beard is unkempt. It's all of us, man.
This is one for the books. They're gonna be able to look through our stuff here. They're gonna look through, and probably 5 years from now, they'll be looking like, look how dusty they look through quarantine. It's just dusty. Come Alvin's hair and beard. I'm not gonna cuss these guys because that won't be nice. But look at Malvin. Terrible, patchy beard and all that. I'm gonna be there this time.
I have a general question just for everyone, and obviously given that we're in quarantine, I've actually just developing, like, I've actually picked up some terrible habits. So for example, like, whilst I'm developing, I'll just be snacking. Is that just me? Like, do you guys struggle with that as well?
Yep. Yeah.
It's shocking.
I thank God I don't go
Oh
on
my
because
gosh.
I think I don't even think about food. Like when I'm designing and doing like developing, I will go like the whole day without eating. It's really bad because I'm so focused. Like, no, okay, 10 more minutes, then 2 hours will be gone. Like when I'm done and developing, time literally flies by. So I eat at like 12 in the morning.
You get into flow. What are you saying, Jamal?
It's the same thing that we spoke about with Ajay, that adrenaline. Like you don't want to stop.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I've heard they call it flow. It's like when you get into like a certain period of working, your mind just.
Mine is too long, like hours and hours.
Hold on, do you know this guy's talking? He entered the matrix. Jamal, say that all again, because I don't know.
Was he talking? Oh, I didn't hear anything.
He was talking, and also we just said,
Oh my
just
God.
wondering like, what's...
Yo,
Fam, every time you mock my Android phone, I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad now. I don't feel bad.
I wish I could say something was recording.
No, say what you want. Say what you want. We probably won't hear you for a second, but try it. This guy's got better cameras and better phones, and then he's there. No, okay, cool. Cut this bit out.
You were talking for time. Oh, yeah, we're editing all of this. I'm so hurt.
Keep it in. This could be like.
Keep it in. You tarnish out.
You're coming. Like, did you not watch the Nelly versus Ludacris live stream?
No,
I'm coming like Nelly, man.
You know they're doing the what's it? It's like NSMB10, but they're doing best producers and best like. They're doing lives of it on Insta. I'm not watching them. This is how you just know. Sort of just info.
They're doing lives on Insta. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I like reading the tweets as I'm listening.
Before I watched it was Erykah Badu and Jill Scott, but obviously American times are just crazy, man. So this was early morning. But yeah, it was sick. It was good.
But then Nelly's internet cut out. Jamal, you were actually saying something. I'm so sorry, but what were you actually trying to say? Because I want to hear it.
I was saying this is the same thing that we spoke about with Ajay, the adrenaline rush that you get. You don't want to stop. You just want to keep on doing. You don't lose the idea.
Do you know what it is? Because I was saying, like, this was saying in like response to that, because I've heard it, and my boss is even telling me it's called like flow, and people get into it, or you're just working.
Hello, what's happening?
Jamal's having a moment.
I'm having a howler.
He's having a mare.
It's the way you're just like frozen like this.
I stopped because I was like, I can't leave him to be in this moment by himself, innit? So I was like,
having a howler, fam. This isn't having a howler.
I need to have a shower after this, man. The way you are moving.
I beg also.
I think it's the heat.
I beg.
I don't know what it is, fam. It was messing up.
It's expecting these 5G towers and all the Wi-Fi and fiber optics. You just stress it. No, I was saying, because the thing that's happening is that when you're working, you get into flow and then your mind just completely like, you lose track of time. You're just doing everything for so long. So that's what happened with you. But I think it's probably because you are actually passionate about what you're doing that you just get into it frequent. You're just doing what you're doing.
It's too much. Like, it's like really like intense. Like, I know I need to eat, but it's like later, like I need to get into the habit of just like stop having breaks like by force, because obviously it's not good for me to be having like 1-2 meals a day because I'm stuck on my laptop. But
that creative process, man, it demands so much. But how big are you, if you are big at all, on collaboration? Do you think you're able to do a project with maybe other sort of UI UX devs and actually come together, or do you think it would just be all hell breaks loose, you're having this for you?
So for the training I did, that was like fully collaborative. Like we had 2 projects and the like main big projects. So I think I'm kind of used to collaborating with people in the design time and also coding. But like more recently, I was actually on the phone with someone, and he wants to collaborate with me more in the sense that he wants to like kind of think of a design. So he will do the design idea and then I'll create it, but we'll kind of bounce ideas off each other, but it will kind of stem from his idea and then I kind of take my own spin on it. And yeah, so I've got that, and that's kind of in the working. But yeah, I do want to really collaborate with other not just designers, developers as well, because I feel like that's one of the best ways to learn collaboration, because I don't know everything. I don't even know half of these things in the world. So I think just learning from other people and seeing how they design and how they code is very important. Very important to me.
I'm doing better than some of us. I don't know how you can get the entire designer in a day. Me, I'll be struggling. I can get stuff done, but my brain is just like, let's go. Think about it.
I surprise myself, because usually, like when I come up with design, I'll take days, weeks to like actually finish it. But now it's like, I think it's really good because it's drilling that into me, like having short sprints of design, drawing wireframes, and actually making it. So I think when it comes to designing more long term, I think I'll design more efficiently, definitely more efficiently.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
See, I'm the exact opposite. Like Jamal always gets onto my case. Like you have to design first.
Oh, not just Jamal.
First. I'm just like, man, move.
Go straight into coding.
Yeah, I'd rather like, I don't even know where it comes from. Because, bro, I may just be gassed. I must have heard somewhere that, you know, like rappers like Jay-Z, he doesn't even write his own lyrics or whatever. He just thinks of it and then just goes, and yeah, he's able to just go.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say that I'm like that, but that's how I prefer to just work, because I feel like once you get things down onto a canvas, it just may be too restrictive. So I would have just maybe prototypes, just a load of those, and then just maybe decide on the best one.
Yeah, I think when I develop, I'm more the same way as you. Like when I did the Zara website yesterday, I did like a quick sketch, but in my mind I knew what I wanted, but I just wanted to put it down on paper really quickly. But I pretty much went straight into development and coding.
So yeah. Why would you think it's like that, Marvin? What's your beef?
Well, if you so kindly have liked to ask. No, you know what it is, yeah? Because I'm similar where if I have the idea in my head, I know where I want to go with it. So I'll just go and I'll sit down and I'll do. But then when I'm hearing, because it's in my head, when you just say, I just want to go and do, I'm like, well, what's the idea? You know what I mean? So if you work with me and you're just like, oh, we just need to do it. And I'm looking at you like, what's the flipping design? Like, we can't just start. I need to see, you know, so I think I'm somewhere between the two of you where I'm like, I can just sit down and just go with it. But if I have no design or I have a thought by it, then it's not going to work. And I think with previous experience, I like to sit and actually start putting it together properly, because if I do it out of my head, I'll then get it down. I'll be like, this isn't actually where I wanted it to go. And actually like put it on paper, develop it, go and start coding, see what makes sense, start getting user feedback, and then going forward with the normal process. And it just kind of goes better that way than just going with whatever in my head. Unless it's like a logo or like a flyer or whatever kind of design that you know, would just work.
Fam, I completely agree with you. Like I said, I picked up terrible habits, and obviously convention will tell you that you're meant to begin with the end in mind. You're meant to design and draw and blah, 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 and obviously work maybe using an agile process from that way. You're definitely right. You're correct. I'm not arguing with you. You're right. We're breaking bad habits in 2020.
I'm not disagreeing. When you said agile, it's because of my job. So my head was just like, when people say agile, I just look at them like, what's this? But it's nothing to do with you. It's more just so like
agile, the agile way.
Wait, say again?
You're not like working in the agile way system.
No, the agile way is proper. It's when people go and they co-opt the term like agile working methodology, but they don't actually use the agile.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it just doesn't make sense. It's a lie. It's just a lie. And I'm looking at you like you don't know what you're talking about. Give me, I'm triggered. Work's got me on ropes, just out here just taking notes. Anyway, sorry.
No problem. Bruv, I feel like I've spoken too much, man. I'm too hungry to think of other things to say.
I've got a
That
question.
guy's actually on route. Go on.
I've got a question to ask. From
Ask the question.
most of our guests, well, I remember we asked this last week.
This is the running question. Okay. Jamal's got a running question that he likes to ask. Why don't you do the last one?
Okay.
Let's see. Paul, you
It's
I
not a
don't
bad question.
Why don't I know what's coming?
because you weren't here last.
Because you
ran away.
you had stuff to do.
Like that girl that woman in the Nollywood movie. You just ran away from. I don't know why you run.
Why are you running? Why are you running? Please, I beg, tell me. I've got stuff to do, guys. Okay.
All right, go ahead.
So the question is, most of our guests that have come on this show,
All this suspense.
yes,
You know Jamal. You know how Jamal is.
the guests that have come on this show, there's one thing that I've noticed, and that is, questions I'm going to ask you is, do you watch anime?
I do indeed.
Yeah. There we go.
Wow.
The source of
I'm doing
creativity.
an analysis right here. Most people that in
How to see? Okay.
people that in tech or doing something creative, they always have
Some ties.
some side of anime, or they grew up watching anime.
Okay, top 3, go right now. 10, 9, 8.
That's all. Yeah. Yeah. I've not watched any in a while though, just because I don't watch anything. I just nowadays. But I did start watching 7 Deadly Sins. I've restarted that loads of times, like trying to get into it, but maybe one day I'll get into it. On Netflix, actually, my favorite one is Psyche K. Do you guys know it? The adventurers.
I tried watching it. It stressed me out for a second.
I love
Carry
it.
on. It was so awkward that I watched it and I was like, I don't know if I can do this to my. You ever do like a mental health check when you watch something?
Like,
And you're like, yeah, like, can I handle this right where I am right now in life? Can I take this? That's what.
Is this for me? Is this for me?
What?
Paul been froze. It's on Netflix, my G.
Oh, yeah, it's on Netflix.
What?
It's Psychic K.
Was it
But
Psychic?
It's Psychic. No, you said it right. You said it right. It's Psychic K. But it's think of Psychic K.
Oh my gosh! How have I never? Wow! How have I never linked that?
Don't worry.
Netflix.
Never heard of it.
It's really good. It's weird, but it's like I just love it.
Man, it made me laugh. But I was like, this is not okay. Like, nah, man.
Say that's your favorite.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Actually, no, I'm lying. That's not my favorite.
No, if it's your favorite, it's okay. Don't let it make you feel embarrassed.
I can't remember the name, but it's on Netflix. I can describe it, but I don't remember the name. I always forget the name.
Describe it.
So it's what I can remember. This guy, I think he dies, and then he goes back in time to when he was younger, and then he basically is trying to solve some murder and find out who.
I know this one, but I'm gonna have to. Oh,
I don't remember the name either.
I know this one.
Oh,
I watched
love
it.
that.
No,
I was so how short it was. Can't remember.
He
I
dies,
always
but
forget the name. Say that again.
But he dies, but he goes back in time.
He goes back in time to his younger, like he's now his younger self, and he's basically trying to
Solve a murder.
basically go through the events that happened like when he was younger, but he's trying to solve like a mystery of some girl gets killed, and he's trying to find out who did it. I think it changed his life or something like that. But
You guys watch some unconventional.
that is so sick.
It sounds sick, but we've gone over time, by the way. If that's all right with you guys.
Say that again?
Oh yeah.
7:32.
Okay.
I need to find it.
Marvin's really searching for this.
He's thinking hard.
No, because I've heard about it, bears, and I was like, I probably do need to watch this, but I can't be asked right now.
I feel like it starts with an S. I think it starts with an S.
Wait,
I'm not sure.
what is this?
Sorry, I'm gonna look for it.
Oh yeah.
Whilst you're doing that, I had a question. What was it?
What was it called? What was the question?
Okay, so what day are you on now of the coding challenge?
Today is day 8.
Wait, was it erased?
Erased? What?
Erased.
Erased? Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, that.
Sorry.
Sorry. But I'm on day 8. Yes. I'm on day 8.
Oh, wow.
How have you found it so far?
Oh, it's challenging. I won't lie, because just having to do a design in one day, yeah, and then I have other stuff as well I need to do. So trying to fit that all in is. Sorry, my foot. Let me mute myself.
I thought that was the anime opening.
Oh
I
my
was like,
days.
oh, no.
It's okay.
Sorry for my
I've
house.
never heard that ringtone ever.
It's
Really?
horrific.
I've got the same one in here as well.
It's horrific. But yeah, it's been quite challenging. But I think it's also really pushed me like creatively, just generated different designs. Like every day I'll go in thinking, okay, I'm going to do this design or this idea, but then I do something completely different. So I just go with the flow now. I don't even bother thinking, no, let me try and do this. I just go with the flow. But yeah.
Is there anyone? Okay, this one, yeah, and you have to be brutally honest. All right, promise.
Oh, what are you gonna ask? I don't know.
That's not fair.
I promise. I'll try my best.
All right, good. All right, is there anyone out there that is doing the challenge as well that you're just like, yeah, I'm competing with this person? Like this person designs, you know, that they're really sick, and
This
I
is
just
my
Put the name out there. You want to put
Honestly, no.
Ooh,
I'm gonna be so honest. Like
good.
I always to me, it's
that's
like
a very good.
I'm not even my own competition, because what I do is so unique to me. I don't think anyone else can not come up with my ideas, but execute it the way I do it. So it's like I admire other people's designs, but it's never a case of competition, because one thing there's enough space for all of us to do well. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not my competition. Let's all excel together, bro, sis. But yeah, I don't think, like, honestly, I don't see.
That was the test.
Say that again? Honestly, I don't see anyone as like competition. Yeah.
Well, you handled that very, very, very well. Wow.
Yeah.
Do people like actually say, like, have you asked this to other people? They say, yeah.
No.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that, sweetheart. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about sweetheart. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You said splat. You got that splat. You're good.
Yeah.
So if we do this in future and you just get at it, then you know the reason why.
Fam, I was looking for ways. What was you saying? I was just like, can I set fire here? Can I? Can I?
No, I don't.
You said you're not on a level.
No, it's nothing like that. We're all in different races, you know. Alone, we're not together in a race. That's how I.
We're all in different lanes.
Lanes.
My lane is my lane. I'm just ahead of you. That's all it is.
My lane is different.
I'm joking. But we do appreciate what you do still, because it's lit. I need to go back and look for the catalog fully. Be like, I fully appreciate it. Well, it's lit. Fam.
It means a lot when people like say that, because I don't know, I never thought I'd be doing something like this. Like, looking past the last year, like where I am now, it's crazy. Like, I did not see this at all for myself, and it's an experience so far. Yeah.
Whichever way you look at it, what you've been doing is actually like a blessing. I don't think we've had a guest on here yet that's been someone that hasn't really pushed himself beyond like common norms or what we'd expect from each other as Black people within tech. Like, there's not that many of us, but the fact that there are those of us that are here that are making waves, and you're here, there's so many of us that actually continue pushing through. It's okay, you can smile. Don't worry, you can smile. But there's so many of us that are like pushing forward. It's inspirational to anybody, you know, like it's inspirational to me and nobody other guys, but it's a form of inspiration. So continue doing what you're doing.
That's facts, and it just makes me so excited for the future. So excited for collaboration as well, because what you tend to see, obviously, in just historically and probably even now more time, is that a big company will just come and then, you know, snoop that creativity there, you know, a little bit of that, sprinkle this there, and, you know, it just takes away just from the whole culture of things. It's like they play with that thing for 5 minutes and they're done with it. But when you start to see things like this challenge on Twitter, you know, that has been on Twitter for, bro, I can't even remember when it started, what it's just been about, and it's in your face, and I just love seeing it. And there's just been other things that are just coming up, and they're just here to stay. So yeah, I love to see it.
We've got 5 minutes left though, and the moment you started talking about Twitter, I started thinking about way in advance. Because I'm gonna ask how you man are finding the use of Twitter now, because I'm quite frankly sick of the app. I'm tired. I'm tired of Instagram. I'm tired of Twitter, of socials. I use them, but I've gotten to a point now. Have you gotten to a point now where you open these apps, yeah? And at some point you're like, I think that's enough for today. Like, I don't need to go.
Yeah,
but then I've no. Huh?
I said I don't go on them as much anymore. More because I'm busy, but it's like, yeah, I can do something else with this time.
That's the thing. Like, we're in quarantine, as ye old Cardi B screamed, and coronavirus, we out here in the pandemic.
The conclusion, people are just bored. That's it. So I just allow it. Like,
yeah.
You're bored.
You know what?
So that's why I'm like, okay.
I appreciate what you're saying, Marvin. And, you know, my take on it is that unless it's something to do with tech or whatever, then, you know, I genuinely don't, you know, like to overindulge, because there's so much negativity that is just spread. And it's just like this, like, again, this agenda again.
Literally this topic again. Like, rest. People
You're
rest.
mad? I spoke about this in sixth form. It is now.
You know what? Funniest thing is mad. You just wake up one morning and be like, oh, you say something, and then someone be like, oh, this you? Question mark.
Yeah.
Literally.
No, it's funny, but it's mad. It's you.
I'm just waiting until the day I get cancelled. I'm just waiting on it.
Everybody's gonna get cancelled. I'm pretty sure some people have already cancelled me in secondary school just for existing. So look, we're gonna get cancelled at some point. We probably wouldn't have done anything about it to cause it, but that's how we see it now. In the future, someone's gonna be like, these guys, they're problematic. They're problematic. Why? Well, they're breathing and they're black males. What? You know what I mean? Like, I'm just, we're tired. We're all tired, fam. Even the issue. That's why I stopped using Twitter. Anyway, carry on.
Before we end, I just have one quick question. Where would you like to take things in the future? I know we spoke about collaboration and what you're currently doing now, but would you sort of maybe go on board with one sort of media outlet and work for them? Or would you like to stay and try and remain as authentic as possible, just staying in your own lane?
I think I would like to work like a company. In terms of what type of company, I'm pretty open, because I think wherever I go, I will learn. Like, that's the thing for me. Like, obviously, learning by myself and designing and practicing is one thing, but then when you're working with other people, and actually that experience is a lot different. And I think I need to experience that, because I've never really experienced that. I need to experience that and get what I can from that, and then decide where I want to go forward with that, if I want to continue on this path or start my own business like properly and just focus on that. So so for me at the moment, it would be more working for a company. What type of company? We'll find out. I don't know yet. We shall find out. But yeah.
All right, just before we end, let's just go with one design that you've seen on Twitter that you like or stood up to you. I'll go first. There's a UI UX developer. I don't know his name, but he designed something sick. It was like, if you wanted to go on a holiday, you just pick a random. You just hit randomizers. You saw that?
Yeah.
If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'll send it to you after this.
Yeah.
But that's my favorite that I've seen recently.
Wait, Jamal, what'd you say?
I know what he's on about.
Stop drink.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I say you got less than 1 minute. This thing's about to go. I don't know. I can't remember if there's a design I've seen in a bit. So you're gonna have to skip me. Skip me. My man came with an ambush question.
All right, man. Yeah, let's just end it there then. Yeah, just leave it at that. Yeah, fam, every single one of you, man. I hope you guys have the best week possible. Obviously, you with your UI UX design challenges. I want to see more. Keep it up. I'm a fan.
Okay.